Right, so I'm out here today with the 1UZ, my local machine shop, T&L Engineering. Spoke to them today. They said if I get the heads off to them, they'll have them skimmed and ready for me to put back on tomorrow. So I'm putting the multi-layer steel head gaskets on them. So I'm going to strip the heads off today, take the intake manifold off and everything, and get down to a block and short block, and yeah, get that ready to give the heads to them and get the heads back tomorrow, and I can refit the heads with nice ARPs. Now these ARPs here are from a 1UZ-FE, need two sets. Yeah, need two sets of these from a 1UZ-FE. Obviously one for each head. The centre ones do need tapping about 10mm deeper so they don't foul. So that's what they will fit. They're the correct specification to fit. I've also got here my 700cc injectors, which are 7M GT injectors, which will require a 10 ohm resistor on each one. I've got the resistors as well. So I'm going to start stripping this all off today, and I'll show you once it's all stripped off. Alright, cover's off, but I just wanted to show you this. Just about to take the, I mean, I'm putting coil on plug anyway, but I'm going to put dizzies and stuff on it to get it running to start off with, but just wanted to show you this. It's obviously someone has changed cam belt before by the looks of it. However, original. It's not in the best shape, but you know, works. Pretty good shape. Original leads on here. Yazaki leads. Bear in mind this is done 100,000 kilometers, basically 60,000 miles. Original. Now they are, I mean, the car ran perfectly fine, but this is a testament to Toyota engineering. I mean, look at the build up on that. That should be flat, that. And the car ran and drove perfectly fine. Probably didn't have all the power in the world, but it drove fine, picked up well. But that is, I mean, they've never been changed. You can see this one here. I mean, look at that. You've got, if I can just get some zoom in on that. Let me see. You can see how much is built up on it. It's pretty damn awful. I mean, I could probably get a screwdriver on that and knock it off, but yeah, that's pretty terrible. Anyway, these are all going to be coming off. Obviously I've got coil on plaques, brand new ones off of a LS430, so 3UZ coil packs, coil on plug to go on. This is all original. I mean, that is just absolutely knackered. That is all the way down to the line on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's awful. It's gone through. So look at this one. It's come off. It's Toyota engineering at its finest, man. It's fucking absolutely knackered. I mean, look at that. The tip's even cracked. It's got, you know, that old. See a cracking on the edge? Don't know if you can see it. Still ran fine. See it there on the edge. Look inside here. Jesus, how much build up. Deteriorated. Original parts, man. Original parts. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. There we go. We're stripping all this off. All new bits to go on anyway. All new bits to go on. And I'm going to put a new alternator on there as well, because that's original alternator. There we go. I just started taking the inlet manifold off, and no idea what this is on the back of here. Coming from the fuel rail. Some other sensor. No idea what this is here. On the back of the inlet manifold. Taking it off, obviously I'm going to make a custom inlet manifold on it. But you've got fuel line from the fuel rail and a sensor of some sort. Maybe it's a pressure sensor. And then you've got the sort of goes where the EGR is. I don't know, I mean, obviously I'm going to unplug it. I don't know what it's for. I'm guessing this is a cold start injector, so this is just going to get deleted off. And it's right next to the EGR port, hence why it's so black. So that'll get capped. You always use that as a twin feed, to be fair, couldn't you, for the fuel rail, but that's going to get capped and that'll get taken off. Useless, don't need it. Right, so I'm just looking at this, and this here is a fuel damper, it looks like. So we've got the fuel brush regulator there. This is a fuel damper, and that is where the main fuel comes in, through the fuel damper, goes into the rail, to the injectors, goes from this side to that rail, goes from this side to that rail, cold start injector there. Then the return comes off of the fuel pressure regulator here, so it exits out the rail here, goes down here, blah blah blah, out the back, down there. That's the feed, that's the return. So we'll keep this line here, I'm just going to disconnect this for now, the fuel damper for now, and we'll get a banjo to put in there afterwards. Get rid of that damper, it's not needed. So the fuel rails are off, and yeah, I've got an adapter for that anyway, so we'll just plumb that in. So it's quite a nice setup here, really. It feeds in one end and it goes both ways to this one and exits here. I've got an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator going on as well, which will be remote mounted, so it'll look really neat once it's in there. But I'm just in the process of just removing the bolts from the inlet manifold now. Get that off, let's get a good nice clean once I get the heads off. Well, inlet manifold off. I think it's safe to say the rats have been having a pretty nice time in here. Made a little home. Bloody buggers, look at that. It's disgusting. Let me get some gloves on and clean this crap up. There's a rat! No, there's not really. Nasty, nasty crap. Ugh, I hate rats. Right, I'm just going to show you half the V's. Pretty mental, man. Half the V's cleaned out. How much has come out of it? Unbelievable. Still got the original starter motor in there, as you can see that. Original part number on there. I'm going to change it. Just like I'm going to change the alternator as well. Just brand new parts. Just because, you know, fresh engine in there, might as well. So yeah, just taking the 2 bolts out of the starter motor. So you clean a bit more out of there, and yeah, that's it. Get it off. So that's all cleaned out. What a massive pile. There's walnuts in there and all sorts. Thankfully, no rats or no dead rats. I need to take this front bit off here. It's water rail. I need to try and leave water rail on. Just take it off here. New O-ring on there afterwards, and that bit at the back as well there, which looks like it's what is that bit doing? Coolant, I think. Coolant, but I'm not going to run coolant to the new intake manifold, so these can probably just be deleted off. That's what it looks like there is. I might just join them up, flow them, so it's got a circuit, and that's it. Yeah, so get that off and get this done. So got this off. This is a left-handed thread on there. So, oh shit, excuse me. So the actual tension is good, but the bearing needs replacing. And this is a 6203 LH. So I'm going to get one of these, an NTN or SKF or something like that. Get a new bearing. It's dude, that's actually knackered. That it's very sticky, gritty, so I'm going to replace that bearing in there. Alright, about to take that bit off there where the dizzy goes on. I will replace it. Obviously I'm not going to use distributor caps and that on the engine, so we'll replace it, and I'm going to take this one off too. Get these rails off front and back. And this idler bearing on the front here, which is taken off, is a, let's have a look a minute. That is a 6301. Okay, and that's a NSK bearing there, so just going to get another 6301 for that. Take this off for now. Put it there. Pile of bits. Time the engine up. TDC, it's for remove stuff, so cranks there. Now I've marked that there one place, and this little nozzle on this cam gear is in line with that pretty much. I've also made another mark as well, which is on this one here, so that mark there lines up with that mark there, and also on this one I've marked that at the top as well, line up, but I've also marked it where's it gone? Oh yeah, here we are. So that mark there lines up with that mark there, and it's that tooth, if that makes sense. Looking at it this way, it does line up. So yeah, take the crank pulley off. The crank pulley backing plate goes on this way, so it's sort of like curved outwards, goes on like that, but you can see the teeth marks on the back anyway as you go onto that sprocket there, the gear. So like that, keep it safe. I mean, these cars are just simply amazing. I mean, original Toyota belt. Original tensioner. 60,000 miles, and how many years old? I have seen some on there longer. So and the belts have been quite a bit worse, but this one, do you know what? I mean, it is obviously showing signs of wear, but you know, it's yeah, still good. Everything's come off quite nicely. I mean, I just absolutely love Toyota engineering. It's just fantastic, fantastic. Right, belts off and everything. Viscous fans off. I'm going to keep that. That needs replacing. You can hear that. That needs replacing. So then I've got new ones of these anyway. That's the tensioner. It's a bit stiff on that. It needs greasing up anyway. Tensioner bearing, and tensioner goes in there. And this one's just another idler for the cam belt. Water pump. I've got a new water pump to go on, and that is, by the looks of it, an original Toyota water pump. Yep. Nuts. Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. So yeah, we'll get that done. Making progress on breaking it down. Just for reference, this earth here goes to the head there. These two fuel lines bolt to there. It's yeah, making some headway on it. Something I have noticed, which has kind of annoyed me a little bit. Obviously the twin cam head, special gears here, so small that I'm going to need to remove the cam caps and the cams to actually take the head bolts off. Fantastic. For God's sake. Oh well, better get it done, I suppose. Annoying. So, just for reference, something a little bit weird here. This says intake 1, sorry, exhaust 1, sorry, E1. This says E2, this says E3, this says E4, this one says intake 2, intake 3, intake 4, and this one says intake 5. Pretty strange. Wonder what the other side says. And this cam cover's off, and there's also another earth on this side which is connected to this side here, so I'm just going to take that off there. Screw that. That'll come off. Left bank, I've got I2, I3, I4, I5. I'm going from back to front. Then I've got E1, E2, E3, E4. So interesting. I think from factory they've not installed the. So what have I got there? I've got I2, and over here I've got I2. I've got no I1s, which is very strange. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to take them off and put them back in exactly the same places. Both the heads are off. Taking the water out of there. The actual bores are really nice. They're really nice and clean. There's no there's mine on nothing there. So these are good. Everything's good. You know, good to run some boost on. Heads are in there. Taking them to get skimmed tomorrow. Silly me, I didn't mark the orientation of the cam, so I'm gonna have to look that up online now. Obviously that one's easy. This one, I suppose, when one's closed, when one's open, one's closed. So I'll have to work it out anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna take these back as well, cam covers and wraps all up now, and can start fitting new water pumps and stuff onto that. Happy days. I'll get this all cleaned up. Probably paint the block a little bit as well. Yeah, just going to put the loom on top of it like that for now. Sort it all out tomorrow maybe. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Wrap it all up, sort it all out another day. Happy days. Watching guys, please like, share and subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for the next chapter.